सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम सच्चिदानंदरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमं प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। समस्तदेवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नदीनदेभ्यो आचार्येभ्यो तीर्थेभ्यो शास्त्रेभ्यो साधकेभ्यो तीर्थेभ्यो क्षेत्रेभ्यो नमो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षे सूतमहामुने शौनकादृशिभ्यो अत्र्यादृशिभ्यो मत्स्याद्यवतारेभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती स्वरूपिणी श्री आदिपराशक्तिमात्रे नमः। श्री दक्षिणामूर्ति दत्तात्रेय हयग्रीवाद गुरुभ्यो नमो नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादश स्कन्धः मुक्तिर्हित्वा अन्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः। अथ पंचविंशोऽध्यायः। श्री भगवानुवाच। चैंट मंत्र नंबर फ्रॉम 25। वनं तु सात्विको वासः ग्रामो राजस उच्यते तामसं द्यूतसदनं मन्निकेतं तु निर्गुणं सात्विकः कारको असंगी रागान्धो राजसः स्मृतः तामसः स्मृतिविभ्रष्टः निर्गुणो मदपाश्रयः सात्विक्याध्यात्मिकी श्रद्धा कर्म श्रद्धा तु राजसी तामसी अधर्मेया श्रद्धा मत्सेवायां तु निर्गुणा पथ्यं पूतं अनायस्तं आहार्यं सात्विकं स्मृतं राजसं चेन्द्रियप्रेष्ठं तामसं चार्तिदाशुचि सात्विकं सुखमात्मोत्थं विषयोत्थं तु राजसं तामसं मोहदैन्योत्थं निर्गुणं मदपाश्रयं द्रव्यं देशः फलं कालः ज्ञानं कर्म च कारकः श्रद्धावस्था कृतिर्निष्ठा त्रैगुण्यः सर्व एव हि सर्वे गुणमया भावाः पुरुषा व्यक्तधिष्ठिताः दुष्टं श्रुतम् अनुध्यातं बुद्ध्या वा पुरुषर्षभ एताः संश्रुतयः पुंसः गुणकर्मनिबन्धनाः येने मे निर्जिताः सौम्य गुणा जीवेन चित्तजाः भक्तियोगेन मन्निष्ठः मद्भावाय प्रपद्यते तस्मात् देहमिमं लब्ध्वा ज्ञानविज्ञानसम्भवं गुणसङ्गं विनिर्धूय मां भजन्तु विचक्षणाः निस्सङ्गो मां भजेद् विद्वान् अप्रमत्तो जितेन्द्रियः रजस्तमश्चाभिजयेत् सत्त्वसंसेवया मुनिः सत्त्वं चाभिजयेत् युक्तः नैरपेक्षेण शान्तधीः सम्पद्यते गुणैर्मुक्तः जीवो जीवं विहाय मां जीवो जीवविनिर्मुक्तः गुणैश्चाशयसम्भवैः मयैव ब्रह्मणा पूर्णः न बहिर्नान्तरश्चरेत् इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे पञ्चविंशोऽध्यायः गुणत्रयविभागयोगः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम, श्री भागवत शरणं मम, श्री सद्गुरु शरणं मम, श्री सूत शरणं मम, श्री शुकदेव शरणं मम, श्री व्यास शरणं मम, श्री नारद शरणं मम, श्री कुमार शरणं मम, श्री ब्रह्मा शरणं मम, श्री विष्णु शरणं मम, श्री परब्रह्म शरणं मम, श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम, शरणं मम, शरणं मम। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। ओम मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं। स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्त्यं रसः, अतः पिबन्तु सद्भाग्याः मामामुञ्जदगर्हिजिद। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणमेकादशस्कन्धः मुक्तिरेत्वान्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः। अथ पञ्चविंशोऽध्यायः गुणत्रयविभागयोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच। Having saluted the entire Bhagavatacharya Parampara, Gurus and all the Devatas, Rishis, Munis, Bhaktas, Jnanis, Jignasus, and also our Shruti Mata. The subject under discussion in Bhagavata Mahapuranam, 11th Skanda, 25th chapter is about Bhagavan, his Maya Shakti, in it the three gunas, and their binding as well as liberating capacities, and the freedom given to the jivas, you and me, who can adopt the binding gunas of the Maya and go on getting bound by the kartrutva, by this karma, by the karma phala, by the janma marana parampara endlessly. Again, the same jiva has always the opportunity to get into the liberating guna. And that liberating guna, when we adopt in our life, that alone has a specific influence and capacity in us to take us to the means of liberation. And what is the means of liberation? Only Bhagavat Krupa. And how the Bhagavat Krupa comes? Only when we are Sharanagata or Bhakta to Him or Jignasu of Him. So, from that side, if you see, a Bhagavad Bhakta by the grace of Bhagavan, a Jignasu by knowing the truth alone can get liberated. And who can become Jignasu and Bhakta is he who is fully qualified in himself because of the increase in the Sattva Guna in him. The other two Guna Vyaktis cannot do the Sharanagati and Jignasa, therefore they will never get the Anugrah by Bhagavan. That's how they will not become qualified for getting the Mukti. And for this also complete choice is given to us. So what we have to remember? Mamekam Sharanam Vraja or Mamevaya Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite or Pashyame Yogameshwaram or Nachamasthana Bhutani Pashyame Yogameshwaram. These are the things for means of liberation we must know. And who will do that liberation for us? Not me, Ishvara Krupa. But whom the Ishvara does Krupa? The one who is pursuing the path. Who will pursue? Sattva Guni. Who will not pursue? The lower Guni. And what are the Sattva Guna? Gunas, Lakshanas. Rajo Tama Guna, Gunas, Lakshanas. is what is given exhaustively in the entire chapter. In that only, of late in the last few shlokas, what makes a person's antakarana rajaguna tamaguna and what makes a person sattvaguna even gunatita, that list is so beautifully put in front of us by the Lord, giving us again full guidance, full freedom. Choice is yours, life is yours, make it or mar it. Thus, if you see from last few of these shlokas, hmm, and then which guna increases, then which of the Shakti comes to us. Satvika, Devata Shakti. Rajasika, Asura Shakti. Tamasika, then Rakshasa Shakti grows in us. So too, Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti is spoken from three guna standpoint. Then these three gunas only, Sattva takes us above, Tamas below, and Rajoguna in the in between lokas. We have also seen Sattva dead, he goes to Swarga Loka. Died with the Rajoguna predominance, one comes to human life, Tamolayaha, they go to Narakadi, and then Nirgunaha reaches Paramatma. So too, what is Satvika karma, Rajasika karma, Tamasika karma explained. Same way, Satvika Jnanam, Rajasika Jnanam, Tamasika Jnanam is explained. Now you go there. If you gain this jnanam, they are tamasic. If you go for this jnanam, it is sattvic. Now sattvika qualities are increased in us by these practices of sattva lakshanas. That's what makes us devotee to Lord, surrender to the Lord, jignasa of the tattva. Then when this is done intensely, deeply, without compromise, for a long time, then the grace from that side comes. Then the experience of the self is given to us, or we are given the abode in the loka of the Lord. Both of them are equal to mukti. One or two things what we have to do is this rajas and tamas try somehow to enter into our system. So some or the other means. And a wise person should guard himself so pakka all the time that not even a little chance also given for it to enter. That price we have to pay. And all that is done, required to be done to enhance or intensify Sattva Guna is simultaneously done. Then simultaneously when the Sattva Guna is growing, use that Sattva Guna smana for the inquiry, for the study of Shastra. These are the things when we know clearly, then we are really sticking to that. That means we are matured in our understanding about spiritual goals, spiritual sadhana. Anybody for that matter. And that requires repeated listenings, repeated manana and chintana, and pakka writing our own notes or keeping the things in our mind. Then only we'll be very clear about it. Then, having said the three jnanams, we were also told about three types of abode. Four types, in fact: Satvika Vasa, Rajasika Vasa, Tamasika Vasa, place of stay. Then the Nirguna. Each of them are so important. So let us by choice go there. Hmm. From the lower guna, entering to higher guna, because of the pull of the lower gunas and the habit of living lower guna, that trying to enter into higher guna appears to be difficult. It is not easy. Never ever understand or accept anybody says if spiritual sadhana is easy or झूठ है, वो मुश्किल ही होगा. Lot of dukkha we have to go through, lot of inner struggle, pain we have to go through. But there is no other way. But having practiced little by little, he starts becoming habitual. Once it becomes habit, living in the higher guna, even the higher, greater, deeper activities which intensify sattva guna in us, like the deep tapasyas, deep dhyanam, deep vicharana, all of them we become qualified, efficient enough to do. Be in that mood. So, after the three types of vasa we were also told about three types of karakas, the kartas. Who is the sattvika karta? Like in Gita, Mukta Sango Anahamvadi, Dhrutyutsaha Samnitaha Siddha Siddhor Nirvikaraha, Karta Satvika Uchade Ragi, Karma Phala Prepsu Lubdo Himsatmako Shushe, Arshasokanvita Karta Rajasa Parikirtaha, Ayukta Prakta Stabdha Shato Naiskritikola Vishadi Dirga Sutricha Karta Tamasa Uchade. These three types of karta in 18th chapter Gita it was told. Here also we have seen three types of karta and also the gunatita karta. We have to work on it. We have to study every sloka and grasp the essence for it. Oh, this is what is the jnanam or karma or the karta, which defines a person as rajasic, tamasic, and these are the ones when done, it is called sattvic. So let me involve in them till they become habit, and don't leave that habit. Like we got the habit of satsang, now don't leave. In between, even little break you take, but you have to be alert to come back. Once if you leave that, then again now no interest will come back. By that time, the rajas tamas will pull us into the world and sleep so much, the whole life is over. हो जाता है उसी में जिंदगी पूरा. Like some of the people might have thought he will give a break for some time and come join back. They never come again. They cannot. They will not have interest. And so after some time, when they miss, they will have all the inner feelings. कि इतने दिन नहीं आए स्वामी जी क्या सोचेंगे और वो भी नहीं आएंगे. And all that in the manmani. That is tamoguna stopped them from coming. Rajoguna stopped them to join again. Satoguna would ask them, Swami, these many days you didn't come, we want to join again. अरे किसने मना किया आ जाओ. Is it not? Never ever give long gaps. Little bit if you feel like, but then not otherwise. Now, after this, the most important topic of three types of Shraddha was discussed. And what is Shraddha? In so many other classes, we discussed that also here mentioned as four types. Shraddha भी चार तरह का होता है. So we should have Satvik Shraddha, Satvik Artha, Satvik Vasaha, Satvik Jnanam, Satvik Karma. All that will makes us Sattoguni. Here only we grow to a great extent, and hereafter also we go to the higher abodes or the worlds. Then we are sent back onto the earth into higher and better places, which are more convenient for our Satvika sadhanas. So when we really see all this and understand it, that fear that मेरा कुछ नहीं होगा मैं गया मेरे I will not grow, that thought goes away. Then I can grow and it is to some extent in my hands. Let me try. That type of inspiration comes. Using that inspiration, when we consciously, planningly commit to, yesterday we talked about this point a lot, commit to some of the sattvika karma every day and go on increasing them, definitely the transformation comes. And those who do it with the grace of Guru, some of them do with their own commitment. And you and I do with both commitment and Guru Kripa along with our own studying the Shastra and knowing it. है ना, गुरु के बाद शरणागत हो जाओ, गुरु भी हमसे कराते हैं. खुद भी विचार करो तो पता चलता है कि आई एम डूइंग दिस, देयरफॉर आई एम लॉस्ट, लेट मी डू दिस वे, देयरफॉर आई विल ग्रो. Then along with effort, along with Guru Kripa, when we study Shastra, it becomes more beautiful, more strong conviction for us. It's very clearly told to us where will the tamasic go, rajasic go, sattvic go, and how this sattva can be increased, how rajas tamas can be eliminated. All picture is very clearly given. Shastra का यही contribution है. So if you see that the three types of sattvic shraddha is आध्यात्मिकी, कर्म श्रद्धा राजसी है, then tamasi shraddha अधर्म में है, and intensely always involved in Bhagavat Seva is called as Nirguna Shraddha. This is what seen yesterday. Then we also touched upon one of the very important topic of three types of ahara. Bhojanam we take. So, Patyam Putam Anayastam Aharyam Satvikam Smrutam. This is said to be the Satvik Ahara, which is Patyam, allowed to be eaten by the Shastra. Putam, which is purified from which we read yesterday. The source purification, preparation purification, and the offering to the Lord. These are the three ways the food is purified. Vyasa. Then Anayastam, which is easy to gain, not troubling anyone or not doing Mahapapa ityadi. And then Anayastam also includes easy to prepare, easy to consume, easy to digest. Why that easiness is required? So that the entire energies are not wasted for it, time is not wasted for it. ऐसा भोजन डिसाइड कर लेना क्या होना चाहिए. दिस इज आत्विकम. राजसिकम ईसा राजसम से इंद्रिय प्रेष्ठम. इन वन लाइन कृष्ण भगवान सेड हियर. फॉर मोर रेफरेंस, मोर डिटेल, रेफर टू गीता. कटु आम्ल लवण अति उष्ण तीक्ष्ण रूक्ष विदायिन आहारा राजसिष्टाः. That's they said dukkha shoka amaya pradaha. The rajasic food will give you dukkha. It will give you the shoka, it will give you the amaya, the diseases. Rajasika bhojanam. At least at the age of 50, we must start slowly reducing tamasic, rajasic bhojanam and start taking the sattva bhojanam. Because in all the yoga sadhanas, what is it? योग का प्रथम द्वार है भोजन में शुद्धि. And it is said, ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhi. Sattva is antakarana. When the ahara becomes shuddha, sattva guna comes to us. Sattva is antakarana, sattva shuddhi is antakarana shuddhi is sattva guna again. In that ahara, ahariyate ita ahara, all the food taken through all the five sense organs, predominantly through the mouth, the food taken. So that's what a very clear one has to be, and not very impossible or difficult. And as we are every day saying nowadays, why you don't know, but फिर भी उसका जो भी फायदा है उठा लें कि don't do over anything, little by little only, reduce tamasic, rajasic, and increase sattvic. Bit by bit only let us conquer. Let us not overestimate ourselves. Let us not unnecessarily do which is not in our hands. Same time, let us not be without doing also. धीरे धीरे थोड़ा थोड़ा ये आध्यात्मिकता में जानबूझकर करते करते आगे बढ़ना होता है. Then the tamasic food is artida ashuchihi. That food which gives arti of all sorts. Why I ate that? And again maybe arti because of expenses, arti because of health spoiling. That is called as the tamasika food arti. Then we told yesterday, there we concluded, whether somebody likes or not to listen, all the non-veg food which is eaten by giving arti to those janwar, to animal, that arti comes to us. Therefore, they will give definitely arti. It may not be immediate, it will be definitely after some time. If you see in our Bhagavat Puranam, 6th or 5th skandha, the story of that Raja Prachina Barhi, and he was shown by Naradji, dekho, when he looked up above, all jivas are holding variety of weapons. He was surprised, kya hai? He said, on the name of yajna or other reason, whatever the Pashu Bali you have done, they're all waiting for you to make you into pieces when you come there. Because so many things. He stopped everything and became sadhak thereafter. Raja Prachinavar, if you remember. Therefore, Artida. What is Arti? I tell you, these foods when they are eaten, all the shoka, dukkha of those beings enter into our bosom, and such person is always relentlessly restless or lazy. A type of criminal mind comes, and he is so jealous of others that cruelty comes. He wants to destroy someone, and doesn't happen. Then he is caught and he is punished, and he becomes suffering. That's what Arti. Always in a Rajoguna mode and Tamoguna mode. Arti matlab the unseen and inexplicable feeling of lowness or dukkha. Satoguna ऐसा नहीं होता. He is doing all सात्विक. He is in a self-confident mode. He is having no guilt at all, no regret. This fellow will have the regrets and guilts so much. Immediately it may not appear. That is the problem. Immediately होता तो हमको थोड़ा हम केयरफुल रह सकते हैं. इमीडिएट तो वो होता है जो हमारे प्रारब्ध में है. But all this definitely going to lead to arti. Addicted to all the drugs, drinks, non-veg. By the age of 50, by 60, such a terrible disease of the body will come. So much arti. ये सब तामसिक भोजन ही है. There can be drinks also, they can be all the alcohols also, all the smoking also, non-veg also. ये सब तामसिक food. And also these onions or what do you call them, the spice, जो भी उसको स्मेल करते ही आइडिया आ जाता है आपको वो तामसिक है करके. Then ashuchi, he says, कि they are the ones which are ashuchi. All the ashuchi bhojana is tamasika, again it comes. So tamasam arshida ashuchi is called as third type of bhojanam. Satvikam, rasikam, tamasikam. Now we have discussed yesterday almost this topic also, wherein Sukham also is of three types, depending on the three gunas. Aim at the Sattva Guna Sukha only, not the Tamasic Rajasic. So, Paramatma is Sukha Swarupa. He is seen or expressing through Maya. Maya is three gunas. Therefore, through three gunas also, the Sukha Paramatma is gained, but the Tamasic is lower, not expected or not correct. Rajasic also should be reduced. We have to aim at only Satvika Sukha. Again, all that by habit, by practice, making a habit, remaining in that. Just like झूठ बोलना हैबिट हो गया, बार बार पकड़े जाएंगे, पिटाई होएगी. सच बोलना हैबिट हो गया, all the time you are speaking truth, you are respected, you are praised, you are trusted. It's so simple if you carefully understand. Good thing practiced and made a habit, it goes on blessing. Yesterday in the morning, how beautifully Sri Vidurji gave us the Papa Punya things. Sattva Vyakti does all the Punya, always in the happy. Rajo Tamo will prompt him to do the Papa, then Papa Karma Kruta Vyakti always goes through that dukkha. It's only habit. And some care. Wherever we are tempted to involve in tamasic, rasic things, let us avoid them. जाना इस मत वहाँ जो होगा देखा जाएगा. Even higher than this is what? Always filling our everyday schedule so much with the sattva guna karma. Totally involved in sattva guna karma. Finish. And in what is said in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam regarding three gunas is of that time. Today's time you have to rethink and readjust. Some of them. So all the indulgences which we see through television and TV and all, ये सारे तामसिक है, the programs etc. Some of them are rajasic also, creating disturbances, agitations, kama, krodha in our mind. Though there are some sattvic guna creating things, but whether we are seeing it or not, it is one's own information. Everybody knows for himself. So too, the type of foods that time what they were prevalent in all these three guna category, and in today's world what is prevalent in three gunas, we must know it. तो बदल गया ना उसका हमें का इस समय का खाने के विषय, but the gunas remain same. We have to understand when we are involving in such things, whether it is sattvic, rasic, tamasic, like invited for both marriage or anywhere. So you can see all the three types of food there. Sattvic, rasic, tamasic. Very heavy, oily, all that tamasic bhojanam. खाओ खूब 3 दिन 4 दिन, फिर नींद छोड़ेगी नहीं आपको. Then the spicy foods are there, and all rajasic है. Some sattvic foods are there, दही चावल खा लो बस आ जाना वहाँ से. जी मेरी शादी में तो खाने के लिए तो जाते हैं, कैसे खा के आए सात्विक भोजन. Then it is your choice. We are only informing. We are not commanding, demanding, ordering. Is it not? Like when you are invited by somebody to their town. In their town also, the sattvic, rasic, tamasic sthala places are there. So, they themselves, if they are sattvic, they only take you only to temples. They ask you. Then you should not immediately say, हमको ये जो different rasic, tamasic जगह में जाना है. Your choice. Sattvic, मजा आएगा देख के राजा. In this way, always it is in our hands. Okay. Now the sukham, the sattvika sukha is atma uttham. Atmotha is, here we can say as both Adhyatmika Jnanam as well as the Panchakosha Niyantrana. That Sukha is Sattvika Sukha. Rajasika Sukha is dependent Sukha, that to on Vishayas. विषयों के द्वारा मिलने वाला सुख और राजसिक सुख है. आत्मोत्थ सुख, our own abilities, our own talents, our own performances, our own good gunas, good qualities. These are all the Atmotha Sukha, that is Sattvic. Vishaya dependent, Rajasic Sukham. Then what is Tamasika Sukham? Tamasa Moha Dainyottam Sukham. The Moha, the confusion, and Dainya, the Dinata. These two are called as these Mm, Moha dainya uttham. Moha, all this type of delusion, illusion, where we are too much attached to the beings around us illogically, in spite of going through variety of dukkha imposed by them, yet holding on to them in the mind, that type of moha, sukha. Now, very peculiar this one, inexplicable sometimes, but if you are alert, you can understand it. Moha Uttha Sukham is called a tamasic. Moha means what? Moha का अर्थ क्या है? Technically तो seeing that which is not there, seeing not which is there. The result of that is what? Moha attached to something is called always moha. And therefore you are in that sukha even though that is otherwise causing some problems. छोड़ो उसको ना, नहीं नहीं, एक sort of अटैचमेंट हो जाता है उस सुख से. That nidra sukha comes in the moha. Pramada, alasya. These are all tamoguni sukha ऐसा बोलते हैं. मोह दैन्योत. And दैन्योत सुखम yesterday we saw कि दीनता, beggary, slavery, dependency too much on others. That's called dainyottham. This is what is tamasic sukham. Nirgunam mad apashrayam. The nirguna sukha is that highest level where kaya, vacha, manasa, buddhya, ahankarena, totally we have surrendered to the Lord, attuned to the Lord, and we know He is taking care of us. Whatever He is giving, we are so joyfully receiving it without complaint, demand, and so much in full bliss and sukha. That's called as निर्गुण सुख. वो फिर बहुत मुश्किल है मिलना, लेकिन मिल गया तो मिल गया सब कुछ. Try for nirguna sukha, which is madapasrayam, where we are fully having trust in the presence and power and prema of the Lord. And we are also expressing our devotion to Him by abiding in whatever He says. And such a wonderful nata established between us and the God that we can see every moment at every place. He is fully taking care of us. Therefore, you are always in that sukha. Madapashrayam sukham nirgunam. I have surrendered to Him. He is taking care of me. He will take care of me. So, self control, self discipline, very good talents, spirituality, these are all sattvika sukha. Vishaya sukha, rajasika. Moha dainyotham, tamasikam. Bhagavan, depending on Bhagavan, totally not laziness. But Madhapashraya means total surrender to Him in which, according to our own Varna Ashrama, whatever God tells us to do through the Shastra, we are doing that. Madhapashraya means don't take it as surrender to the Lord and stop doing anything. That is again tamoguna. देखो मैं किसी राजा के आश्रय में हूँ मतलब not that I go and fall at his feet and fall down on the ground. I mean the ashraya of the king means whatever he tells me I do thoroughly. Thus deserve his kripa. If Raja sees me that I am doing exactly what he says, slowly he will give me the government job, he will give the house to stay, a salary, clothes, abhushanam. Slowly he will increase my position of the office. That's called ashraya. Even in can maybe give a small town or kingdom also to me. Adha Raja bhi de sakte ho. Even, if he is totally deserving, even he write the kingdom on our name later on. All that is called ashraya. In the same way, when we are in the ashraya Bhagavan means we are doing exactly what he says. That's called a nirguna sukham. Ho gaya. This with this, in this portion of 20th chapter of Bhagavatam, the Triguna related variety of karma, jnanam ityadi are told. In mantra 30, the summary of that is being said. Please remember that द्रव्यं देशः फलं कालः ज्ञानं कर्म च कारकः श्रद्धा अवस्था कृतिः निष्ठा त्रैगुण्यः सर्वैव हि. All these things fall in three gunas. We should have discretion to reject tamasic, rasic and only involve in sattva. So if this is remembered, this shloka, then all the things which we involve in every day, that list is remembered, and they are all in three gunas, which is already explained. Little more powerful memory power if we have, we can remember all and involve in them. For the sake of practice, we can write all of them and stick somewhere, or write a notebook and see it every day. एक दो महीना करने से सब याद रहते. So, what are those things in which all the trigunas are there? Trigunya sarva evahi. All these things are made up of three gunas. Which guna you want to adopt? It is your choice. So, dravyam, the trigunatmaka dravya. The satvika dravya is there, the rajasic dravya is there, the tamasic dravya is there. Here, dravya is the usable objects, the consumable goods. Satvik, rajasic, तीनों है. इवन द चेयर विच वी सिट ऑल्सो थ्री टाइप्स. द बिस्तरा जिस पे हम सोते हैं वो भी थ्री टाइप्स होता है. इवन द क्लोथ विच वी यूज कैन ऑल्सो बी ऑफ थ्री टाइप्स, सात्विक, राजसिक, तामसिक. कॉटन से जो बनता है वो पूरा सात्विक है. अब वूल से वगैरह वो तो राजसिक होता है. वो जो सिल्कन है वो तामसिक है. वाई यू हैव टू किल सो मेनी सिल्क वर्म्स एंड ऑल यू मेक इट. क्रूर स्वभाव. But all gods and all, they wear silken cloth. They wear that silkworm themselves, give that silk as their own offering. Don't compare that Lord with ours and all. So, all the bhojana samagri also fall in the dravya, that is three types. Like a drink can be three types, satvika, rajasik, tamasic. So, then you take buttermilk and all, wonderful satvika. Then all the milks and coffees and teas, they all fall in the rajasic. And what is tamasic? You know it. Dravyam is three types. You be careful about it. The drinkables, the eatables, the dravya, the seeables, all the things through all the five indriyas can we have three types. Like through the ear, what we consume, the sounds, that also three times. Is it not? The sattvika music, it has its own beauty, charm. Some instruments are nice, alapa, having good, positive, inspiring lyrics. देन द राजसिक धूम धड़ाका. आज सारे वाह मोह, कोई भी गाना सुन ले दिल धड़क धड़क कर वो रुक ही जाता है वो. And you can see the tamasic also very tempting, very bhoga pradhana, and also very frustrating, miserable type of music. Movies also sattvic, rasic, tamasic. All that comes in dravya. You be careful. Choose only that type which is sattvika. Second one is desha. This is very important. Desha has lot of influence. If we stay in Sattvika Pradesham, all the Sattvika gunas enter into us. Stay in Rajasic place, Rajasika gunas, Tamasika place, all this Smashan Ghat, slaughterhouse, nearby if you stay there, and that place where the, what do you say, all the low type of activities happen, ऐसी जगह रहो तो तमस enter हो जाएगा. And very buzzing with all busyness, that's a Rajasic place. Lot of traffic sounds are there, lot of marketing chillana is there. These are all the Rajasic sthala. Shuddha Sattvika sthala where nicely some temples are there, pilgrim places are there, some ashrams are there, punya kshetra are there. Desham is Sattvik. ज़्यादातर सात्विक में ही जाते रहना बाबा. So dravyam is three gunas, desham is three guna, phalam also three guna, trigunatmika phala. Here the phala is the expected result. You want to just sleep away lazily, that phala is your goal, then you are expecting tamasika phala. You want name and fame, etc. as phala, that is called sattvika phala. You want others to be helped by you in your presence, that's called sattvika phala. जिनके फला आसक्ति सात्विक है, like a doctor. If his phalasakti is sattvika, he'll be hard working doctor taking care of patients with minimum of fees, like that. The phala rajasic hai koi doctor ka, you want to become so famous and trendsetter in the entire society. ऐसे सब इनको ही पास हो. तामसिक डॉक्टर इज कुछ भी करो पैसे ज्यादा कमाओ बस. दृष्टि उसी पे है. Phalam also decides which is ours. Anything like I am doing satsanga. If I am doing satsanga for the sake of serving the Shastra, Shruti Mata, and for my understanding evolution, and for you as a seva, this phala is sattvic. If I want to become very famous and all that, a rajasic wala. But same satvanga can be done for any me lower type of profits, benefits of the money, etc. वो करते हैं लोग. They do learn all techniques by which they become good speakers. Lot of money is poured. They get it. बाबा हमको नहीं चाहिए, हमको सिर्फ श्रुति माता का ऋषि परंपरा का सेवा एंड लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड द गोल एंड मीन्स एंड वॉक ऑन दैट पाथ. हमारा तो यही लक्ष्य. तो द्रव्यम देश फलम देन काल. So the kala also of three types. So whichever the tamasic rasic kala, we have to be very careful about it. Don't hold on to it or don't elongate it. Wherever this satvika kala comes, we must be fully utilizing it in our life. You know, kala, the Uttarayana, Punya kala, Dakshinayana. In the same way, out of 6 rutus, the 3 rutus are more sattvic. Is it not? Other than like that, in among the 12 months, also few months are satvika kala. Some are rajasic, some are tamasic. Is it not? We have to be very careful about it. So too, in a week, some days are sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. And every day also, you know, I need not say, there are the timings of satvika kala. Early mornings, that 3:30 to 6:37, those 4 hours are most glorious. Satvika kala. Then the whole day is rajasic. Evening after 6:37, tamasic. Those tamasic kala, if you are awake and more, tamasic gunas enter into us. So better sleep. Rajasic kala, saru, but it creates ego and all selfishness. Be careful there. With the attitude of service, do it. Then the rajoguna kala of the daytime, work happens, but we don't become rajoguni. But morning time, in the sattva guna kala, as much as possible, we use it for sadhana. It helps. Kala also we can add when the great Mahatmas come. That type of kala. It's a sattvika kala. You know, in your own town, to your own house, vicinity, some Mahatmas come, so that time is Satvika. They are there. As long as they are there, be there regular and learn from them. That type also, the people around, great Mahatmas, Satvik. So to in the town, all the entertaining, indulging, enjoying people have come, so Rajasik Kala have. You know that IPL that happened now. Rajasik, all 2 months or 3 months, every day in that Rajoguna until 11, 12, 12 o'clock, then after that Tamaguna. So too in your own town when all the other Tamasic Vishayas are put up for sale or all that, that is Tamasika Kala, even that type of people visit. दूर रहना उससे. So add कर लेना ऐसी बात कि depending on who are around us, that also decides the kala of three gunas. Then jnanam, we have already seen 3 types of jnanam: sattvic, rasic, tamasika. Sattvic jnanam is seeing one. Rasic jnanam is dividing. Tamasic jnanam is knowledge of the matter only. Dravyatmaka jnanam is tamasic jnanam. Then 3 types of karma also we have seen. Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, already mentioned. If you, it's summarizing. This shloka is just putting a synopsis in front of us, what you have studied from last 20 shlokas, which is so essential. Then Karakaha also. Sattvic Karta, Rasic, Tamasic. So Sattvic Karta is who doesn't expect, he does it as an offering to the Lord without any Sangha attachment. Rasic is blindfolded by the Raga, and Tamasic is always forgetful. Smriti Vibrashtaha, Visakarakaha. Then 3 types of Shraddha we have seen. Adhyatmik Shraddha is Satvika, Karma Shraddha, Rajasika. Then only Adharma mein Shraddha hai Tamasiko. Bhagavad Seva always you are in Nirguna Shraddha. Then avastha. Avastha is, we already said, the three types of places. है ना? What is the satvika sthalam? Vana ityadi. Rajasika places are the grama ityadi. And tamasika sthala are the dyuta sadanam ityadi, which were mentioned. So in this way, Shraddha, Avastha and Krutihi. Karma itself also the three types of Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. When we do our own duty, offer it to Lord without any phala, Apeksha, it was a Sattvic karma. Then phala Sankalpa, Rajasic karma. When we do Himsa to others, Tamasika. Okay, yeah? Shraddha, Avastha, Krutihi. Then Nishtha. Nishtha means our own strong convictions. I must do my sadhana and grow. Sattvic Nishtha हो गया. Somehow I'm going to become famous. रासिक निष्ठा हो गया. या कुछ भी हो जाए, I'll contribute very less. This conviction, I don't do anything. That's tamasic nishtha. Because of this tamasic nishtha, people, all the families are so much disturbed. They suffer so much. कुछ करते ही नहीं वो लोग. Tamasic nishtha. And you can't leave them. They are not ready to do anything. And they, along with it, non-doing, the tamoguna karta, akartatva, rajoguna demands and dominations. I see some families, in that the two, three people, it can be father-in-law or mother-in-law, it can be brother-in-law, it can be husband only. तामसिक निष्ठा नहीं करेंगे कुछ भी, गुस्सा करेंगे, डिमांड करेंगे. And those family members are naraka only for them. I don't know what prarabdha, what papa, bapre bap. I feel so sympathetic when we see such people. Even I are little lucky ki less papa, more punya we have done. Such problems are minimum to us. I feel so. Nishtha, conviction, it is called commitment, also of three types. Finally, Traigunya Sarva Evahi. All these, be careful, are fully available in all three models of three gunas. Three varieties of three gunas. You choose what you want. And you don't blame anyone for the consequences later on. It is you, it was your choice. Now, having said the enumeration of all these, now from here onwards, now Bhagavan will tell, therefore, what to do. Some sadhana to positively batana hai na. What was said so far is sadhana only. But it was hinted at. List is given. Whatever you adopt, these will be the consequences that is told. Therefore, avoid these and adopt this. ये भी बोलने से सब ये हो जाएगा. Lord or Guru telling is equivalent to blessing only. Is an idea, a guidance, a suggestion. Then they told, if you are devoted to them, it becomes a means for us to get committed. मेरे गुरु ने कहा, भगवान ने कहा, इसलिए मैं करूँगा. सिर्फ लिस्ट दे दिया तो तुम्हारी मर्जी है. तो again we are in the not confusion, but not very easy for us to decide for the higher. The Guru tells, then we can. Now, before the topic of 4 5 slokas taken up, Bhagwan, just one sloka summarizing. Entire world is created by Prakriti, other than Purusha. Therefore, Prakriti has three gunas. Everything in the world has three gunas. He says, Sarve gunamaya bhava Purusha vyaktadheshtitaha Dushtam sutam anudhyatam Buddhyava Purusharshava. A Purusharshava, best among the Purushas, my dear Uddhava. Krishna is telling Uddhava this Mukti Skandha. Sarve Gunamayaha Bhavaha. First all, Sarve Bhavaha. All expressions of beings, names and forms. First thing. Secondly, they are all Gunamayaha. Made up of the three gunas. All those things made up of three gunas have in them these two ingredients. One, Purusha and Avyakta Dhishtitaha. All of them have the adhisthana of Paramatma as well as Avyakta called as Prakriti. How do you say the Paramatma is there? Because without Paramatma's prerana, Prakriti cannot move, cannot get modified, cannot get expressed into three gunas, and consequent these variety of things. See, Maya Sankshobhitaya Maya Trigunatmika, we have seen. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Suyate, it is seen. We told yesterday all electrical equipments cannot work without electricity. Although in the electricity they are all not there, and you don't see electricity is as if working there. It doesn't काम नहीं करता, उसका रहता है बस, उसका रहना ही उसका काम. So to Purushas रहना ही उनका उतना काम है. That's how in his presence the Prakriti does everything. Therefore in everything in this world, Purusha, Prakriti, both of them are there. Purusha avyakta adhishtitaha. Purusha or avyakta are the adhisthana for all the bhavas in this world which are made of three gunas. तीन गुणों से बने हुए सृष्टि के हर एक चीज के पीछे परमात्मा और उनकी माया शक्ति जिनमें तीन गुण है, ये दोनों है. एंड व्हाट आर दोज ऑल थिंग्स? दृष्टम श्रुतम बुद्ध्या अनुध्यातम. All drishtam seen by our eyes, shrutam all heard by the ears is equal to all those are perceived by the jnanendriyas. So to anudhyatam buddhya, all that is imagined by the mind, contemplated by the intellect, thought over by intellect, all of that also has got the prakriti aspect, trigunas, purusha aspect, Lord's presence. His presence is of that satta, chit and ananda. He is the main adhishtan. And his power called as Maya with its three gunas is there. So जो भी आप चीज़ों को इंद्रियों से देखते हैं, मन से भाव करते हैं, बुद्धि से विचार करके समझते हैं, all of them are made of these three gunas. And Paramatma, Purusha Avyakta Adhishtita. So सर्वे गुणमया महाभावाः पुरुषः अव्यक्त अधिष्ठिताः दृष्टं श्रुतम् अनुध्यातं बुद्ध्या वा दृष्टं श्रुतं बुद्ध्या अनुध्यातं वा हे पुरुष ऋषभा. Therefore there is nothing without guna and without Paramatma. Our job is what? First devalue rajoguna tamoguna vishayas, value sattva vishayas. With that becomes sattva guna in your antakarana. With the sattva guna, hold on to Bhagavan. When you hold on to Bhagavan, we become Gunatita by becoming one with Bhagavan. This is what is the journey with the help of the three guna analysis, as was told by Lord so many days. This is what is touched for next four shlokas only. But this is the crux and essence of what is said so far. उसका पर्पस क्या है सब बताने का, करना क्या है हमको, इसमें बताते हैं. Now, एताः संश्रुतयः पुंसः गुणकर्म निबन्धनाः ये नेमे निर्जिताः सौम्या गुणा जीवेन चित्तजाः भक्ति योगेन मन्निष्ठः मद्भावाय प्रपद्यते. This is the goal indicated. How to achieve the sadhanas? Little bit told here in the subsequent shlokas also. Be attentive, careful in listening the meaning of these shlokas, the vyakhyanam of these shlokas, explanation of these shlokas. So, hey Saumya, first of all, oh my dear Uddhava, Priya Darshana, that so patiently you are asking me, and when I am telling you are listening, all the knowledges, and you are nodding your head and you are grasping everything, then you are becoming deserving for my blessings and your mukti. Obviously, you are a Priya Darshana, therefore Saumya. This word I can address to all of you also. Hey dear Saumya audience. Saumya means soft, tender, wonderful. Priya Darshana, Saumya. Saumya Vapur Mahatma. Become Priya Darshana. Oh Krishna, you are showing me the terrible form. Ugra Rupa withdraw करके सौम्य रूप दिखाओ. After showing that Vishwarupa, in the beginning it was so cute, sweet. Slowly it started becoming a terrible form of consuming, eating everyone with all the mouth full of fire. He becomes Ugra. Arjuna got frightened, says, becomes Saumya Vapu. Bhutva Puna Saumya Vapur Mahatma. So he Saumya, he Priyadarshana, oh my dear Uddhava. Etaha samsrutayaha purusha pumsaha. These samsaras of the Purusha are guna karma nibandhanaha. Coming to him because he is bound by the karmas which are forced because of the gunas, to whichever he is giving importance. And what of the samsruti? Continuous jumping from one place to other. The jumping from one place to other before we die, between the birth and death, is every moment in our moods, in our actions, in our experiences. Change in the mood, change in the action, change in the experience. Every moment which is happening in us is called samsara. Clear? Then at the end of the life, death, birth, matlab, manega, when we leave the body, dying, then we are put in different lokas. That is called as samsruti. We may go to Swarga, we may go to Naraka, we may go to Pashu Pakshi Yoni, Vanaspati Yoni, Kirimi Kitaka Yoni. We may come as a human in the human life also. According to all that, whatever guna and all, we may be born in different place. So now I am born in whatever place and whatever the things I am doing. Toward the end of my life, if my gunas are of tamasic, that type of family I will be born. खाओ पियो मौज करो ऐसे वाले को स्लम एरियाज देर आई में बी बॉर्न दैट इज कॉल्ड एज samsruti. Maybe rajasic, as said in Gita 6th chapter, or maybe born to that orthodox traditional families who strictly believe in shastra and शास्त्रोक्त तत्व, उसी में जन्म लेते हैं. या जन्म कहीं भी ले डिपेंड प्रारब्ध, बट शिफ्टेड तुरंत into that type of world. Like in some families, very low level family, but somehow they feel like and manage to send the children to some spiritual gurukulas. वो लोग कभी जाते नहीं, उनके एबीसीडी भी नहीं आता spirituality, but these child sent there becomes thorough in all those, so that jiva, because of his earlier life sattva got this opportunity in this loka, in this life. That's called as samsruti. So, etaha samsrutayaha, these samsaras for the human being, which are happening in this very life, between womb and tomb, and after dying again they are sent to many places. These are all nibandhanaha, are because of guna karma. So important it is. Where we go depends on what karma we do. What karma we do depends on what guna we are predominant in. Tamoguna predominant, tamasic karma, that type of samsruti we go. Rajasic guna predominant, rajoguna karma, we go there. Sattvic guna predominant, sattvic karenge to wahan jaye. Therefore, and which guna to adopt and practice is in our own hands. Right now, we may be utterly in tamoguna, no doubt. But through practice, slowly we can come to the highest level of sattva. That opportunity is always open. Like every person is potentially doctor, lawyer, engineer, politician. He'll have to expose himself to that study to become that. So to everybody potentially can do any activity of any of the three guna. So he'll have to invoke the sattvic, avoid rasic, tam. Then only every jiva is potentially divine. The divinity will be expressed later on, which is the ultimate goal. देखो गुण कर्म के कारण सारे जीवों के ये अलग अलग गतियां संस्कृत में डिफरेंट गति होते हैं. सो एता संस्कृतयः पुंसः गुणकर्म निबंधनाः. हो गया. The what sadhana to be done is started being told from this second line onwards. He Saumya, yena, that sadhaka by whom? Ime nirjitaha. Ime nirjitaha. These are conquered. Which are the gunaha? Yena means by whom? Jivena. And where are these all gunas? In his own chitta. So that person, that jiva, that matured person, that sadhaka, who has conquered these three gunas, which are born in his own antakarana. That is the meaning of Yena jivena chittajaha ime gunaha he saumya nirjitaha. The one who has conquered these three gunas, which are in his own antakarana. What will happen to him and how to do? What is the one sadhana mentioned first here? Bhakti yogena mannishtha. with the nishtha of gaining me or reaching me. Nishtha is goal here. One nishtha means keeping me as the goal. Then the means to reach God again are given by the Lord only. And they are all fully given in the Shastra. Therefore, doing whatever Lord says to reach the goal called as the Lord, that is called as bhakti. Therefore, bhakti yogena manishta means keeping God as the goal and accepting what God told as the means to reach the God, which is the goal, and doing it seriously called as bhakti. The one who has got this. Bhakti yogena manishta. Bhakti yoga means total dedication to do exactly what Lord says to reach Him. He said all that in the Shastras. Such person only, in fact, do the jaya of these three gunas, which is said in the second line. Bhakti yogena manishta. So then, result क्या होगा उनको मद भावाय प्रपद्यते. He will reach to my state of being of that infinite bliss, infinitude. No, the bondage. There's no bondage of finitude. There's the experience of infinitude called as liberation. Mad bhavaya means like the Bhagavan is Ananda Swarupa, Ananta Swarupa, Sat Swarupa, Chit Swarupa, Eka Swarupa, Advaya Swarupa, Akhanda Swarupa. That Anubhava, he gets it. So, again you repeat it. Hey Arjuna, hey dear Saumya, Uddhava, all the samsrutis that jivas are going through are because of guna and karma. Means as long as one person is in the gunas and working according to the guna, he will go through all the samsara, swarga, naraka, bhuloka, different units. We have to transcend the gunas, then only we get mukti. Mukti is reaching to Bhagavan. Transcendence of three guna is conquering the gunas which are born in the chitta. So, yene me nirjita saumya gunaha yena jivena ime gunaha nirjitaha chittajaha gunaha nirjitaha. Clear? And what is the sadhana? Bhakti yogena manishta. In Bhakti Shastra, manishta is reaching Bhagavan's abode. Bhakti yoga is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Ityadi. In Jnana Marga, the manishta is the nishta to establish the pure self who is beyond three gunas. Here the Bhakti yoga is all the Viveka Vairagya, Shamadamadi, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Such person only. Where he reaches Madbhavaya Prapadyate. In Bhakti Yoga, Madbhavaya Salokya Samipya Sarupya Sarishti Muktis. In the Jnana Marga, the Madbhava means one becomes, discovers one's own nature as Sachidananda Brahma. नहीं करेंगे हम गुणों को पार और भगवान को लक्ष्य बनाकर साधना नहीं करें, you are always under the influence of three gunas born in the chitta, and that chitta में जो तीन गुण जन्म लेते रहते हैं, they keep on creating some desires etc in the mind, sankalpa, then they push the body to do different karma, or you can't expect the karma फल of samsara from one to the other. तो कभी अच्छे काम पुण्य काम किए, कभी स्वर्ग गए आ गए, कभी ऐसे पाप वगैरह किया है तो नरक में गए आ गए. Sometime we have done punya papa sama, again on the earth, and again on the earth do something by which enter into the pashu pakshi yoni. चलता ही रहता है for millions life till we discover through this knowledge or study or teachings of the guru about the possibility of the evolution or revelation and do it accordingly. अब हमको तो मिल गया. गुणातीत स्थिति में जाने का प्रयत्न नहीं करोगे तो गुणों में ही फंस रहोगे. गुणों में फंसे रहोगे तो those gunas will prompt you to do this or that. Then we will go into those different samsruti. So guna karma nibandhana. Every life is a phala we get. The phala becomes karma. Karma is done depending on the gunas. That's how guna karma samsruti. I have these gunas, I do that karma, then to that samsruti or janma, I am pushed into. Goes on happening. And in general, what we said yesterday before also, ki nobody is always sattva-guni. In one life, he might have been terrible tamoguni, rajoguni also. And today, if somebody is finding to be rajas tamas, Not necessarily always he's in that. He was in some time Sattva Guna also, because of some experimentation or misguidance, he was entered into Tamo Guna. But तीनों में ही घूमते रहते, फंसते रहते. Like I told you, even the utter criminal terrorist, he is so Rajasic, Tamasic. Still, he'll also have this Sattva-guna Lakshana when his own family members are there. When he'll have to love them, take care of them. वो तो सत्व गुण ही है. वही जो टेररिस्ट है, उनके भी अपने मित्र होते हैं, रिलेटिव्स होते हैं, फैमिलीज हैं. दे हैव सत्व गुण फॉर देम. लव नहीं तो जी नहीं सकता बंदा. Therefore, how many times we might have born in different samsrutis because of different guna phala, guna karma phala, because of the phala of the karma done influenced by the gunas. We might have studied also this subject earlier, tried for some time to become Sattva-guni, but again influenced by something, we must have fallen, again going on. So every life, this knowledge has to be strengthened about the gunas and their influence, in that the lower gunas which bind us, in the higher guna which liberates us, and we also have to be informed every time about the gunatita sthiti. Keep that as guna. Man nishtaha mad bhaktaha. Bhakti yoga. This life now we are given this clarity now. Though we have it earlier, but these 13, 14 years, it gave more substantial clarity. Slowly we studied. Now it is in your hands. By taking Lord as the goal through sadhana bhakti yoga, should we transcend these three gunas and reach to experience the Lord? Or allow the gunas in the chitta to be born to influence us with variety of sankalpa and desires, which prompt us to act and get the results. ये आपके हाथ में. Clear? In that also Bhagavan doesn't stop. He says these last three shlokas are very essential. Here is where Bhagavan's Kripa, Karuna, advice. And in this advice, Bhagavan tells us to do these, that sadhana. That means those sadhanas nobody else does do for us. We only have to do. So tasmad dehamimam prapya लब्ध्वा ज्ञान विज्ञान संभवम गुण संगम निर्धूया मां भजन्तु विचक्षणाः. So chakshana means seeing, vichakshana means special seeing. So those special visionaries, those who have the ability to visualize specially, subtly, deeply, mean those who have the ability to discriminate about what is higher, what is lower, what is possible, what is to be made possible. विचक्षण लोग हैं, दिमाग वाले हैं, वाइज पीपल है तो, समझदार है तो, सयाने हैं, मेच्योर्ड है तो, दैट्स द मीनिंग ऑफ विचक्षण. व्हाट द विचक्षण डू शुड डू तस्मात् देयरफॉर देहम इमं लब्ध्वा, हैविंग born as human being. What is this human life? Jnana Vijnana Sambhavam, in which the Jnana, entire theoretical knowledge, Vijnana, doing practice till the experience is gained, are possible. So imam deham manusya deham labdhva jnana vijnana sambhavam. Bhagavan ही कह रहे हैं. Authority for us is Lord Krishna himself here, undoubtedly, unambiguously. So having gained this jnana vijnana possible human life, what is to be done? Guna sangam vinirdhuya. Totally wash off, brush aside, cleanse off your own entire life from the guna sangha. First, give up the tamoguna by attaching to the rajoguna. By give up the rajoguna also by attaching sattva-guna. Even sattva-guna also give up by attaching to the Lord. How to do that? Mam bhajantu vichakshanaha. It is both ways. Detach yourself from three gunas and do my bhajana, or do my bhajana more and more so that you are getting detached from the three gunas. Then reach to the gunatita sthiti. उदासीन वदासीनः गुणैर्यो न विचाल्यते गुणावर्तन्ते इत्येव यो नितिष्ठति निङ्गते समदुःखसुखस्वस्थः समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चनः तुल्यप्रिया प्रियो धीरः तुल्यनिन्दात्मसंस्तुतिः मानापमानयोः तुल्यः तुल्यो मित्रारिपक्षयो सर्वारम्भ परित्यागी गुणातीतः स उच्यते. देयर आल्सो मां च यः अव्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते स गुणान् समतीत्येतान् ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते. ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम् अमृतस्याव्ययस्य च शाश्वतस्य धर्मस्य सुखस्य एकान्तिकस्य च. Beautiful. So you are human being. Their jnana vijnana sambhava. Therefore, devaluing all the trigunatmika jivanam, do only the gunatita giving gunatita experience giving life of Bhagavad Bhajana. Mam bhajantu vichakshanaha. Bhajantu means may you do so. What to do? My bhajan. Mera bhajan karo. Mera bhajan means everything related to divinity. In the Bhakti Yoga, Navadha Bhakti, in the Jnana Marga, this one. Keeping him as the goal, Manishta. If we don't do, then get caught up in the three guna, some Sruti can't be avoided. The rules apply there, conditions apply. Do live life of Rajas and Davas, definitely pushed into Naraka and the Nicha Yoni. Sattva activity, Uttama Loka, but it is endful, pushed back again to the Bhumi only. So, this what these 3-4 slokas of this chapter toward the end are Bhagwan's kindness, Bhagwan's advice, suggestion, his कृपा करुणा. मोर देन इतना वो कुछ नहीं कर सकते, बाकी हमको करना है. हम करें तो फिर उनको अनुग्रह करने का मौका होगा. हो गया. 2 more श्लोकास. Therefore निस्संगो मां भजेत विद्वान अप्रमत्तो जितेन्द्रियः रजस्तमश्च विजेत सत्त्व संसेवया मुनिः. So, these 4 shlokas tomorrow also will take 15-20 minutes and explain. It needs to be told. Because in this only entire sadhana is there. Not only the information or the meaning of these shlokas we must know, but we should also see the meaning in such a way that we become inspired, we become committed, we start doing sadhana. सारे सुनी जा रहे, इंफॉर्मेशन भी नहीं हो रहा, नॉलेज के रूप में नहीं बदल रहा, कोई कन्विक्शन नहीं हो रहा है, कोई शुरुआत ही नहीं हो रहा, तो फिर उतना फायदा भी नहीं. So we'll see tomorrow for some time to make more clear in our understanding about this, and in fact we can each of us in the group inside mind, no need to say outside, can take our own oaths and commitments. From this day 8th or 9th or 10th June 2022, our efforts are to transcend tamas rajas, come to sattva, use sattva and near the Lord, and as near the Lord, even transcend the sattva guna to become gunatita. Now, where do we get this knowledge? In our academic books, in our all movies, in our clubs, with our own friends. Is government has a guts and दम ये सब पढ़ाने को हमको एजुकेशन सिस्टम में बदल कर हिम्मत है इन दिस सो कॉल्ड स्टूपिड सेक्युलर कंट्री. ये सा ज्ञान कहाँ दिया जाएगा? See, because of that one secularism, how much we are denied of all that. Let us be Hindu secularistic country. First Hindu nation, then we allow others. According to Hindu Dharma, we teach all this. Thus, let every Indian citizen should aim at Gunatita Sthiti through Sattva Guna by denying Rajas and Tamas. What's wrong in that? What is religious in that? Why should it frighten or threaten or tempt or prompt the other people? Why should they get like that? Dekho, this is called Moha and Maya, wherein the best of the knowledge for the betterment of every individual and society is just kept away because of one thing कि हमको इसका बढ़ावा करने से दूसरे भी भड़केंगे. What is this यार? We can't make Gita as our national text. We can't make Lord Krishna as our Adarsha Purusha, Mother Sita as the Adarsha Rama. बनाना चाहिए. We should have given long back the Bharata Ratna to all these rishis, munis, devatas. पहले उनको दो. Every street, every gully should be named after them. Every project should be named after them. Every town should be named after them only. Then only we are reminded, no? नहीं तो कैसे होगा? I am to doing sankalpa for all this to happen. My all pujas, everything is for that only. The whole Vishwa should become Sanatana Dharma. That's it. We aim it because this is the means for goal liberation. Why do you tell me other religion is there no mukti? There may be mukti, But whatever the process they follow, that is already in the Sanatana Dharma. इसमें से offshoot ही होते सब. Anyway, our point is what Bhagavan says: Nisangaha, detached from all rajas, tamas, sattva, mam bhajeta, always be in bhajan of me, apramattaha, don't allow the mind to leak out into tamas, rajas, jitendriyaha, the mind leaks through senses, therefore control them. Rajas, tamas, avijayetu, conquer rajas, tamas, how? Sattva samsevaya, through sattva samsevanam. What is sattva? In karma, in jnana, in shraddha, in sthala, all that is already said. To do that, you have to have the knowledge always readily available. That will come when you do the manana. Therefore, munihi. ऐसा करने से क्या होगा? सत्वम च अभिजयेत युक्त. तो conquer rajas tamas by sattva and conquer even sattva also. How? Nairapekshena shantadihi. By establishing your mana in absolute shanti without any apeksha of inner and outer things, thus go beyond the three sattva guna also. What happens at the time? Sampadyate gunaihi muktaha jivaha jivam vihaya mam. So jivaha jiva bhavam vihaya gunaihi muktaha mam sampadyate. This jiva transcends three gunas. No more is a jiva when he transcends three gunas. He becomes one with me. In the last sloka, Jivo Jiva Vinirmuktaha Gunahischa Ashaya Sambhavaihi Mayaiva Brahmana Purunaha Navahirnantaraha Charetu. So that Jiva, by transcending the three gunas, he transcends the Jiva Bhava also. Then he becomes one with the Purna Brahma Swarupa. Thereafter, for him, there is in or out for any agitations of the Antakarna, the Upadhyar Vritti, again to pull him back to the lower world of Trigunas. Because Mukta. I said only 2, 3, 4, 5% of these 3, 4 shlokas. Tomorrow we will exhaustively see them. These 5 shlokas we spend down 15, 20 minutes. Then the Aila Geetam also, we start the introduction. That also equally beautiful chapter, perhaps little bigger also, not very big, only 35 shloka. इसमें भी हमको that Ila Geetam of Vairagyam, all that also very powerful it is. Ila Geetam. Kamadi Vikara Dehadi Tadatmya, how to transcend, that is told. Then comes for our study in the next, Bhagavan talks about the sadhana of Kriya Yoga in few shlokas. Thereafter, we are taught the Atma Tattva Nirupanam in the 28th chapter. After that, it's a good chapter. Then that we have finally Bhagavata Dharmas, because this text is Bhagavata. Concludingly, Uddhavji going to Badri Yatra. This will happen in chapter 29. Then 30th chapter, we have Bhagavan Krishna and all these Yadavas fighting with each other. इसका अक्षय हो जाना होता है. Then the 31st chapter of this particular skandham, we will see Bhagavan Krishna going to his own abode. This is how the next, today if we say 25th is over, 6 more chapters. We'll study this entire month, maybe some more days next month. So, need not be in any hurry. Anyway, up to this we have come. Some more little love to the Shastra and Guru. Patience we have. There will be a great contentment that we tried to study entire Bhagavata of 18,000 verses. And for me, though, this is the biggest achievement of the life. Many other things we have done, achieved, nothing like एक बड़ा सा भागवत शास्त्र संपूर्ण रूप से देखना, इससे बढ़कर और क्या हो सकता है. And if you and I are true, serious, sincere, you can see in our life, Bhagavata complete, Ramayana complete, Upanishad series we are doing, so many Prakaranas we are doing. All it is Ishvara Bhagavat Krupa. To that little seriousness, sincerity is added with regularity, and little homework is done in terms of understanding and sadhana, the result would be more spectacular. That also needs some committed effort. We will do that. तो जितना हो सके करते जाएं. Thank you, Sarvam. इति इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां एकादश स्कंधे पंचविंशोऽध्यायः. So, tentatively, we are announcing this chapter 25 is over academically, but last 5 slokas need to be explained, the meaning of it. Tomorrow we will see. Let us enter now to the study of our Valmiki Ramayana also for some time. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana.